ABC, Brian here. Shamrock'n Records. I decided to come back for a second video. I made my first video last week, my intro to the VC. Um, I did that vinyl tag. I had a great time doing it. I feel like it kind of told you guys a little bit about me and what I like and the stuff that I enjoy collecting and but it left out a lot. I mean, as you guys know, it only hits on certain different categories. So there's so many more layers of me and my music that I've been dying to do a second video. So um, trying to come up with an idea for a second video though. Oh my god, all week I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about. Is the VC going to like it, or like all these different things, and like, oh, am I going to do my favorite records? Am I going to do recent finds? I didn't know what the heck I was going to talk about. Like last week, doing a vinyl tag was easy because I had the questions ready. So this week, I'm just kind of gonna wing it, and I'm just gonna tell a story, and I guess weave some records into my story, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if not, you'll shut this down, and it is what it is. So. But I did want to say thank you, all of you guys that have left comments like that and subscribed. Like that really has it's made my week, and because I've been watching all of you guys for about a year, a little over a year now, so I've been very intimidated. So thank you guys for the open arms. You guys have been really cool. There's a lot of you that have been reaching out to me and been very supportive. So I want to thank all you guys. And yeah, so I guess the kind of story that I want to tell today is about just like how one thing leads to another in life and in record collecting. Um, like I went to a concert about 10 years ago, maybe 11. I think it was 11 years ago now. It's 2006. And this was the show. Jamie Cullum. Jamie is a jazz piano player. Um, he's poppy. He blends pop and rock into jazz. He does like covers of like Jimi Hendrix on piano, and he's very uh, I don't know, he a very good performer. We'll say he gets on the piano, he's jumping on it, he pounds on it, very kind of punk rock. Um, as a jazz musician, I guess, like Jerry Lee Lewis, the original punk. So, um, but anyway, I went to go see Jamie Cullum that night, and the opening act was a brand new artist that I had never heard of. She had just had her first single released on the radio. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks before I even saw the show. So I kind of heard of the name, but I hadn't really heard anything other than single. Um, and when I got there and she came on stage, she blew me the hell away. And I told you guys in my tag last week that I enjoy female singer songwriters, and it was kind of hard to pick just one record on my vinyl tag. So I wanted to show Brady Carlisle. This is her debut record, um, self-titled. Um, came out in 2006 on CD. They released this on vinyl, I believe in 2012, 2011. It says on the bottom of this. Um, but she blew me away that night. Oh my God, I she did a cover of Hallelujah, Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Um, more Jeff Buckley style. Um, she just she killed it that night. She blew me away. Her vocals are insane. Um, and she's alt country, folk, but pop. Um, you know, I mean, I'm sure most of you guys have heard her. You may not dig her, um, but she's probably my favorite female artist. Um, I just love her vocals. She gets really gravelly, very throaty, can kind of scream and almost kind of yodel, and then she goes into her upper register, which is so like just angelic and I don't know. She just blows me away, and I get chills when I listen to this girl. And this record here is real easy to listen to. It's very poppy. Like I said, she's got several records now, and she's kind of gone a little more folky, a little more country. She, she loves the she, you can tell her who her inspirations. That she loves Patsy Cline. Um, she's heavily influenced by Elvis Costello, um, and whatever. But so I went to pick this up the very next day because she blew me away that night. And so I was living outside of Boston at the time. So I went to the Newbury Comics in Natick, Massachusetts to pick this up. And as I walked in there, they were spinning something that I love. So like I walk into a record shop, and it's always nice when you walk in and they're playing something you like. But they were playing not this record because this record wasn't out yet, but they were spinning old 97s, and the old 97s are one of my favorite bands. Um, and what I'm listening to right now is this. This is Rhett Miller, The Interpreter. It's a live record recorded at Largo, California, and it's all covers. Um, and I mean, if you hadn't heard what was playing on the back, I mean, he already did Homeward Bound and American Girl. This is California Stars. He does Brilliant Mistake by Elvis Costello, does Queen Bitch, David Bowie, Waterloo Sunset by the Kinks, Wave of Mutilation. I mean, he does Robin Hitchcock on this. Love this record. And I don't know. So that I go into Noobs and they're playing old 97s. So that's freaking humongous. So that kind of made me wanna, when I was kind of thinking about this whole story, it made me want to listen to this. And one of the one of the things that I was saying is like how one thing leads to another, you know. So now, like, I go into this record shop and they're listening to old 97, so I'm like, having a good time in the shop and um, going in there to grab my Brady Carlisle. So I grabbed the Brandy CD because that's what I was doing at the time. And like I said, that hadn't been pressed on vinyl yet. And I get ready to leave. And as I'm getting ready to check out, I just kind of like look at their new release wall. And on their new release wall was this Buffalo Tom, 3 Easy Pieces. Holy moly, I freaking love this record. Okay, love Buffalo Tom. This this record, I didn't know was coming out. I didn't even know they were a band anymore when this came out. Um, and I hadn't probably listened to them. Um, who knows? Maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Who knows? But like I said, I go in there, I see this, I'm like, holy crap! A new Buffalo Tom. I need that. So I pick up that CD because I was still doing CDs. Um, and man, this record, if you guys are Buffalo Tom fans and haven't heard this record, wow. I, it's really catchy. Um, it I think it flows really well. It might for me. I think it's like their most accessible record. It's not nearly as punk as when they first started. They were a little rougher. This one here is just so easy. I don't know. I really don't know how to describe. If you know this record, their absolute 90s gem, um, the one that got them on the map pretty much. Um, I think it's, I'm not going to say better because it is different. I love this record. Don't get me wrong. I love this freaking record. But this one is very catchy. I don't know. If you like Buffalo Tom and you haven't heard this record, just check it out. It's really cool. But anyway, as I'm in there getting the brandy, now I have found this. I get rung out at the register, and the kid at the register gives me like this little sampler CD. So I take it, and I go home and I spin it, and now I got this sampler of new music from New West. I don't know if New West. Which is kind of weird because the band that was on there, I don't think was ever on New West. Like, I know they weren't on New West, so I don't know how New West must own different parts, must own different things. I don't know how that works, but there was a band on that sampler CD um, that I really enjoyed, and I was really turned on by this song. And the name of the song was called "In the Curve," and it was by the Avett Brothers, and it was a B-side for this, for Emotionalism. Um, so I ended up going out and grabbing Emotionalism, and the Curve wasn't even on it. It's like only on that one little sampler CD. I've never even heard him do it live, nothing. But anyway, that little sampler got me into this, which this record pretty much has changed my life for the last 10 years. They've become one of my favorite bands. This is before they got big. They were still on Ramsey Records. It's stripped down. It's very soft on certain tracks. It's very sentimental. It's very tears at your heart. It's emotional, you know. But there's also things that just like tear you up, man, and they get on their banjos and the acoustic guitar and the stand up bass, and they kill it, and they get very. I know I said this about Jamie, but they have like this punk intensity to their folk rock songs, and it really. I love bands that show passion, and these guys are the real deal, and this record was the real deal. I mean, they've changed styles since. They've become much more commercial since. I still love them, but not nearly how I did when I first got into this band. So then I, started going backwards in their catalog and, started getting everything I could by them and just listen to them nonstop. But this record just is insane. I love this record. So I kind of wanted to show you guys what I've been listening to more recently. Um, but I love these guys. Um, and it was really cool because when I was working in the record shop, I I was working one day. I'm at the counter and I'm doing whatever, and a customer comes in. He's flipping through records and he comes up to the counter and he's like, "Oh man," he's like, "I'm so glad you got the Avetts in here." And I was like, "Oh man, you like them? Like, I love them. They're one of my favorite bands. I spin them in here all the time." And he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm their dad." So it was Jim Avett. He was in town doing a show in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and he ended up coming into the shop and he bought a couple records. Their mom was there also, so she was really awesome. She was wearing a little red Avett Brothers T-shirt, um, and we had actual conversation about that song "In the Curve" because I told him that that's how I got into the Avetts because it was on a sampler. And he was able to tell me all about that song. Like, it blew me away. He was like, that song, I gave the '63 Ford to Seth, and he was like 16 at the time, and like, he just told me what that song was about. It was awesome. So that made me really appreciate this band even more because I know that they're real and their songs are true to their life and their parents were really cool. But yeah, anyway, going off on a tangent. Sorry about that. But love this record. Check it out if you like alt country, folk rock, that kind of stuff. Um, and So anyway, I guess I just wanted to tell that story just because, like, I went to a Jamie Cullum concert and then I got introduced to Brady Carlisle. I go into that, it's just one thing after another that got me into the Avetts by going in to see Jamie Cullum. And I guess um, it all is coming around for me right now is because I'm going back to Boston this weekend to visit my buddy Mike, who's also thinking about maybe making a video. And we're gonna go see a show at the Paradise next Saturday. Going to see Stephen Kellogg, singer-songwriter. Um, he used to be Stephen Kellogg and the Sixers. They've disbanded, and he's doing his own solo stuff. Um, but it's just another singer-songwriter, poppy, I guess. There's parts that kind of might remind me of like Ryan Adams. But he's more. He's not as. I don't know. He's more pop sounding. I don't. But this is his newest record, and it's really cool. It's called Southwest Northeast, and each each uh, each side of the record was recorded in a different part of the country, and thus Southwest Northeast. So he's got one side that was recorded in Woodstock, one in Washington, if you can see that, Boulder, Colorado, and Nashville, Tennessee. So each side was recorded in a different studio, and each side kind of has their own feel. So one's a little more poppy than the other. One's a little more singer songwriter. Like, check them out online if you've never heard them. If you like singer songwriters, um, but yeah. So hopefully, um, I'll go down to Boston next week. I'll check out an awesome show. I'll get introduced to new things when I'm there, and I'm gonna hit some shops. I'm excited to do that, and then I'll make another video, and who knows, maybe I'll have some vinyl finds next time. But I just wanted to thank you guys again. Um, thank you, VC. Cheers.